Hi everybody, this is Felicia, and welcome back to the series that I am doing with Hannah, Megan, Christina, and Sarah called For the Love of Homemade Kits. So as you can see right here, I am going to be doing some stitching. I got a template down here that I'm poking some holes through there. And this template is pretty old. It was from way back in the day, and it's by Basil. And that is, I guess you would call those flurries, and you can see all the holes that I've punched. So then I'm going to go ahead and get started. So it took me about an hour and a half to stitch this, and I did the back stitch on that. So as you can see, there is the stitching there. And I love the way that came out. I like flurries or swirlies or whatever you want to call them. I call them flurries and swirlies. So anyway, so right now I am going to start fiddling around here, and I can't for the life of me figure out which way I want these photos to go and which way I want these background papers to go for this layout here. Now, in case you noticed, no, the purple paper did not end up in my kit originally, and neither did the other little 6x6 piece there with the little tiny little dots on it, but I figured I needed to do something because I didn't have anything really purple, and I wanted to do a layout of these flowers because these flowers are in my backyard and they grow on a vine and they only come around twice during the year, right about the beginning midsummer and when summer ends, and so or ending. So they are drying up right now as we speak because that's going to be it for them. They bloom a couple times and that's it, and there's a lot. And I also decided to go ahead and do these flowers because I love it when the hummingbirds come and get the nectar out of them. Oh my gosh, it's such a beautiful sight. And I can never catch it on camera as still as I want because they move so fast. So, but I am going to catch one of those hummingbirds one of these days. Anyway, so as you can see, I rounded the corners of this photo, and I also rounded the corners of the 6x6 pieces, and the 3x4 card was already rounded. So I figured if I'm going to use that, I might as well just go ahead and get everything matched up and just round all the corners, and that's why I took off the excess white that was on the photo. So now I'm putting them down after I figure out this is the way I want them to go. I'm going to put them down. So I'm using some of those stickers, and those are some of the clear stickers that I had in the homemade kit. And I'm going to end up using two of those flowers and two of those feathers. I put the feather on, the second feather on later once I realized that, oh, that's right, I got to use the second one. And I just kind of situated them because I'm going to have just 3 locations of clusters. And I pulled out these butterflies because the butterflies fly back there by the flowers as well. And it's too bad I don't have a hummingbird because that would have been nice to put on there. So now I am situating those butterflies. And those little, I guess they call them sprigs or whatever, wood veneer. I was going to put those down, but I changed my mind. And I was also going to put those flowers down, but the flowers had too much orange in them. And so I ended up kind of tossing those to the side there. And I did put that arrow, and I am going to put those butterflies, but I'm going to do something with those butterflies right now. So I'm going to go ahead and emboss the very ends of or bottoms of the butterflies. And I saw Victoria Marie do this on one of her videos with her alphabet, so I figured I'm going to go ahead and do this with my butterflies, and I'm going to use the purple embossing powder. And that purple embossing powder is called Wild Plum, and it's by Adirondack. That's pretty much all I can say is how I get it. And that's by Ranger. So I've had that in my stash for a little while. So, and what I end up doing when I'm embossing this is putting 2 coats on top so that it can thicken it and make it look really good because it didn't come out as clear, as good as I wanted it to the first time around. So I decided, and that's the only way you can do that is while it's still wet and sticky, the embossing powder, you can put another layer on. So, and that turned out fine. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue these down on here in the layout in the 3 different clusters here. And I really like those butterflies, so you're going to get a close-up of what they look like once I get them down, and I'll show you some close-ups. But I really liked how that turned out, so I'm going to do that again one of these days. Thanks, Victoria, for the idea. It was a pretty good idea there. Anyway, so right now I am putting some of these pieces down. Now I'm going to end up putting that arrow down But I'm also going to end up putting down some glittery washi tape that I have in my stash because I didn't have it, and you can see I've torn it in half there because I like that rough edge look that it gives to it. So, and then I started kind of struggling with the one here at the bottom of the layout. So I ended up having to use my tweezers to help me out because it wouldn't lay down straight and it kept buckling underneath there. But I finally get it after I fool around here for a minute with it. And let's see, am I getting it done? Yes, I am. So there, it eventually smoothed itself out. So that was good. That worked out really good. So now I'm going to cut off the little excess, and that is set right and done. And that really was a last minute idea, I guess you would call the glittering washi tape. I thought it would be a good idea. And so now I'm going to put this acetate little ampersand down, and that is from the ephemera pack. And I'm going to stick that under there to give some more interest there to the bottom part. And now I'm putting down some of these enamel dots in the different shades of purple, I guess, lilac. Still struggling with that here. Oh my goodness. And so then I eventually gonna put that arrow down at the top of the journaling card there. And I remember the other flower there. So that looks a lot better with the two. So I'm doing my journaling, and my journaling talks about the flowers and how beautiful they are when they bloom, and that it just shows you it's pretty much the sign of the end of summer, the last bloom that comes on that vine. And that is a serious vine that those flowers grow on. Oh my gosh, it's so creepy. It kind of reminds me of the Little Shop of Horrors because it's really viney, and if you let it go and if you don't trim it, it gets like that, and it grows, and it kind of grows on the patio back there. And oh my gosh, it's just really creepy. So we have to remember to get that all trimmed up and everything and stuff like that. So now I'm using some of these stickers. Now these stickers are all over the place, and I just, I just left them like that because once I opened it and then I tried to put it back in the pack, they just fell all over the place. So I used that extra piece of plastic to put them on and just shoved them back in there because I'm like, I'm going to use glue anyway, so it's fine. So this is a different shade. Those stickers that they have like 3 different shades in that pack, and so I decided to go ahead and use the lightest shade so that you can see it. The darker one would not have worked, so I'm going to use my glue here to glue it down, and that way it don't come off and I don't have to worry about it. But it's just really annoying how the thickers just keep popping off those pack out of, it's just, ugh, just annoying. So that is the title of the sign, and that is the last of the flowers for the year. And so we won't be seeing those back on the vine until around about the beginning of spring, and then you can see them when they start because you can smell it out in the backyard. And so that's that for those flowers. So just thought I'd do a layout of that. And now I'm going to add some of my Dilutions ink, which I forgot what color that was because I don't have the bottle in front of me. But it came out, it was so dark when I put it on there. And then I was like, you know what? Let me try this. And so I grabbed a baby wipe, and I like that look. And so what I'm going to probably do in the future is do that look again. So I really like it. So I'm about done with this layout here, and I want to thank you guys for watching, and be sure to tune into the other gals there, Hannah, Megan, Sarah, and Christina, and see what they come up with their kit. And we're going to be doing a kit reveal here for our next round, which is going to be round 7, and hopefully we can continue to keep your interest, and we really appreciate you guys watching. So thank you guys so much again, and take care, and bye-bye.